Hi Virgo, thanks for tuning in and welcome to your reading for November. Tune in with me while I'm shuffling. Set aside any tasks that you might have on the go. I'd like to ask you to please not multitask while you watch this reading to make sure that you get the most out of the messages that come through and that you're not wasting your time with distractions. So please check in with your higher self. Ask your higher self and guides to tune in and check in with my higher self and guides so that we can set up a feedback loop to make sure that the messages that come through here are tailored for you. If you take a moment to set up that dialogue, you'll very much be having a personal reading here. So we're going to take a look at the general energies available during this time and then do a higher octave reading with the Voyager deck right after. So let's take a look. Last shuffle. Ace of Pentacles crossed by Three of Swords. Wheel of Fortune reversed, Two of Cups. Four of Swords reversed, Star reversed, Eight of Cups, Page of Pentacles reversed, Two of Pentacles reversed, Temperance reversed. Queen of Swords reversed, Hangman reversed, Ten of Pentacles, and Knight of Swords reversed. Okay. The bottom of the deck we have the King of Wands in reverse. So, give me a moment here. It's a mixed bag, I'll say that right off the bat. Mixed bag. What I feel in general with this spread, and I'll go into more detail of course, but my first impression here is that there's some things up in the air. There's some issues up in the air. There's some topics that you're dealing with that, and there could be more than one. I don't feel like there's just one thing going on here. I feel like there's multiple things going on, and I feel that literally things are up in the air and you don't know how and when these things will land in a way that gives you any kind of certainty about what you're actually really dealing with here. A lot of unknown energy and a lot of like a feeling of hurry up and wait. Like I feel impatience in the spread. I feel waiting, but it's like irritable waiting. It's not the type of waiting where there's a certainty that that thing will arrive and you'll know, and rightly so, in the correct timing. This is like, I feel for you. This feels really annoying. I feel that there are specific characters in your spread this month that are like playing out kind of, not from you, but this is from, I feel, people in your environment that you're dealing with right now with regards to these issues that are up in the air. I feel like some people are acting a little immaturely around you. Some people may be withholding information from you. Other people might be behaving passive aggressive with regards to communication, things that the issues and topics that they feel are important, which actually might not be very important, but they're behaving immaturely and overly emotionally about certain things, and as a result of their lack of awareness are communicating in ways that are like passive aggressive and overly dramatic. That's one aspect I'm feeling in this reading. In other areas of the reading with different people, that's kind of one character that's playing out here, one archetype, and I feel that one is a family member. So we have this Ten of Pentacles with Page of Pentacles. That's where I feel this is coming from. And then in this quadrant we have the Eight of Cups with the Knight of Swords in reverse. So in this area of the reading, what I feel is that this is where we might be seeing like there's communication information that you're waiting on before you can actually undertake a pursuit that has meaning and relevance to you. It's like there are some things that you want to pursue. There's some type of tasks that you want to activate, or some kind of progress that you want to make in a personal and in a professional way. But there is communication that hasn't arrived yet, that is either someone is purposely delaying you because they're just being really petty and kind of I hate to say this, but I feel there's a little bit of an element here of someone wanting to try to control your actions in a way. That's not for everyone. That's for some. In other interpretations of this combination of cards, it's not that someone's deliberately withholding communication. It's just that that information's not available yet, and so your ability to act and make forward movement or make decisions or you know um, be more proactive about your goals and aspirations is being a little bit delayed. That's reflecting in other parts of the reading too, with this Hangman in reverse and the Two of Pentacles is kind of similar. It's very much, each quadrant of the reading has very similar expressions that are feeding into the central axis of the reading here. So what this is saying here, Hangman reverse with Two of Pentacles, is that there is a delay in information, and because of a delay or because of a waiting period, you're unable to make decisions, and that's also part of the irritability and frustration that I'm feeling in this spread here. Hurry up and wait, because there's like I feel here, and in the outcome part of the reading, there's like 3 reversed major arcana and Queen of Swords in reverse. I feel like this is you as well. This is also feeling a bit irritable, frustrated, a little bit restricted, like the Hangman reverse. There's a restricted feeling with this Queen of Swords reverse. There's also with this energy a feeling of you being unable to express your frustration to the people that may be causing delays, or maybe withholding information, or maybe behaving passively aggressively, or maybe being petty and immature in certain ways. There's a feeling here that you're unable to really just slice through all that bullshit and drama with raw, real truth because your hands are a little bit tied. There's something here about, and let's see if the extension of the reading will give a little bit more insight, but what I'm feeling here is that there are while there may be some human characters in your environment at this time that maybe you feel are behaving with a lower vibration of a lack of awareness or immaturity in their emotional well-being and immaturity in their capacity to communicate consciously, they may just be characters that are actually playing a role as far as some greater story that's being shown here through these 2 major arcana cards, Wheel of Fortune and Star Reverse. What I feel what this is saying here is that while there are some annoying people in your field that are, like I said, being either immaturely communicating or delaying communication or being petty in some way, I feel that they are they may very well be those types of people that are immature and petty and whatnot. But what's a bigger story here is that the point I'm trying to make is that there's no need to blame or get irritable or aggressive or angry at those people, because they're actually just kind of puppets is not the right word, but they are characters playing a role for a higher vibrational energy, which is being described here by these 2 cards, where there are some energetic things going on in like timelines that may be not totally determined yet. And so whatever delays are playing out through individuals, like these characters that are cast in roles that may be seeming like super annoying and you may want to slap someone actually, but in a bigger picture, what's happening is that there are some things that are still lining up in an energetic way. Like there's a bigger storyline, there's a bigger energy that is being, I'm getting the energy of it, but I don't know how to describe it in words. It's almost like a big give me the words. There's a greater energetic blueprint that is kind of being written as it's being played out, and there is something bigger that's aligning that is taking longer than you think it should, because you're ready. There's things in this reading that are telling me that you are ready for new chapters, new concepts, new projects, new events, new peoples, new scenarios, new lots of stuff. Like you've been putting a lot of work in over this whole of the last year, over like with a really specific dedicated channeling of your like your magic and your healing energy and your force, your karmic expression, your path, like the way you've been channeling and pushing energy into specific dedicated things. So you're really available and ready for something that's actually really about to be birthed. but there's other people in the story that's it's bigger than you, and so there's other people and other characters in the story that are in different time zones, different countries, different places, different moments on their personal journey, and that synchronization hasn't quite happened yet. That's what I'm trying to say. So be patient is what I'm saying here. I know that's the most annoying thing to hear when you feel impatient, is for someone to tell you to be patient, but sorry. The reward of patience is patience. Bottom of the deck, we have King of Swords reversed. Sorry, that's King of Wands reversed. Two of Swords upright, Page of Swords, and Fool reversed, with the High Priestess going to take her. Basically, this is what I just said. There is events and forces that are unseen to you in other timelines, where things need to kind of play out in their way in those time zones, in those places that you may not be privy to. And that those events with those people who are connected to you that you may or may not know yet, there's a bigger story going on here. Some things have to line up in the ethers, basically what we're saying here. And the Fool reverse is another indicator that, yeah, this is not actually the right time for this new beginning to start, even though you clearly are ready. Like you're feeling the potential of the energy that's around you for something new to begin. But, Hangman reverse, Four of Swords reverse, Temperance, Wheel of Fortune reverse, Star reverse, Queen of Swords reverse, King of Swords reverse. Like, it's other shit has to line up. So relax. Read a book. Paint something. It's going to come. It's going to come. It's coming. It's definitely coming. You just need to maintain the vibration of that potential and strive to address the places where you feel irritable and frustrated and tense and anxious. Address that energy by working with how you can invoke more trust in the universe, in your own magic, in your own creative process, in your manifestation. Work with the energy of High Priestess, of a higher truth, of mystical and metaphysical energy that's at play here. Okay? That's the only advice I can give you here, is that you need to work with the energies that you're feeling and embody a greater space of trust and maintain your receptivity and your potential and your openness, and don't let irritability and frustration and anxiety cause you to close down in any way that may potentially block that energy from reaching you when the timing is right. Okay? There is this energy in this reading which I haven't really touched on yet. Two of Cups, and there's this Three of Swords here. Give me a second to just check in on that. Okay, right. So for some of you, the thing that you're waiting on is a partnership. And with regard to that, with what I've already been describing here, the person who you're invoking and calling in, this compatible partner that you've been ready for some time, is still tying up something in their reality, and they're not available to you yet. So the same messages apply. Be patient, invoke more trust, invoke more knowing, listen to your inner guidance and wisdom, embody a space of patience and knowing, and maintain your receptivity to that potential, and everything will line up exactly when it should. Let me just check over and see if there's anything else here, but I feel that I've got everything now for this general part of the reading. What I'm feeling here with this is that what your guides are trying to suggest now here is that it's really important. I just noticed there's 3 twos in the reading, as well as the High Priestess. So there's 4 twos in your reading. How I'm interpreting that is that there is here a reminder. It's basically what I've already said. I'm just going to repeat it, but in a little bit slightly different way. Like, don't let self-doubt creep in. Self-doubt with regard to what you're manifesting or what you're aligning to or what you've already invoked. Don't doubt your own ability to actually birth in the magic that you already are working with, because something's taking longer than you think it should. Like, don't let that cause you to feel any kind of doubt or resistance or anxiety or stress, and because that energy will inevitably play out in a way that creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know what I mean? So just keep, like I've said already, maintain that space of the potential for what you already know you've aligned with, what you're creating. Trust that it's coming in its timing as it is perfect and correct. And all you need to do is continue to work on facing any places where you have impatience or anxiety or limitation or restriction or resistance to anything that you know is rightfully yours. And continue to work on that with your higher awareness, with your love, with your compassion, with your understanding, with trust, with self-confidence, with all these kind of qualities that you're inevitably always cultivating. Just keep focusing on those things, not to deny or reject the places where you might feel resistance or where you might feel impatient or anxiety or any of those things, but actually acknowledge them, address them, face them, integrate them, synthesize all of the energy, and keep working with that higher awareness that allows you to actually be honest and real about all those things all the time. That's the general reading, Virgo. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now and shuffle again. We're going to do the same spread. This time it's going to be the higher octave reading using the Holographic Mandala layout. And this spread will provide hopefully a little bit more insight into any karmic and spiritual forces that are at play. Hopefully it will reveal any blind spots that we need to address. Maybe your guides and higher self will also provide some practical insight and practical guidance about how to work with the energies that we're facing to make the most out of the lessons that are at play. So send your energy into the deck. Focus all of your awareness and presence on this reading. Bring your awareness to your breathing as well. And let's take a look. Sage of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. Sage of Crystals reversed, crossed by the Priestess. Interesting. Four of Pentacles reversed, Two of Pentacles, Child of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. That's this card. So for some repeating energy already. Ace of Wands reversed, Six of Cups reversed, Man of Cups reversed, Three of Wands reversed, Temperance reversed, Child of Wands, that's Page of Pentacles, Six of Crystals, Chariot, and Two of Wands reversed. Okay. What I feel in this spread it's more or less the same, like the same energy of this feeling here, like you are really ready to start something new, but there's this feeling of a little bit of frustration and impatience and irritability while you're kind of like waiting for other things to line up with you and be actually on the same synchronization. And there is also a little bit more here about a couple of like some individuals that are in your environment that may be causing frustration because of their lack of awareness or their whatever limitations they have in their communication skills or in their own personal development in ways that you feel is not on the same page with you, but you still have to kind of deal with these individuals and manage their shortcomings in the way that you may see it. The crossing card in your reading is the High Priestess, which was here in the extended cards. And so it's kind of a reiteration of what I was saying there at the end. Like your challenge at this time is to be in that space of knowing and awareness, given that the circumstances that you're facing and dealing with may not be ideal as far as your sense of what should be happening right now and your sense of readiness and availability to what you've been invoking and calling in and manifesting. And so there is that sense of just being a little bit more like calm and steady and patient. So there's more twos in this reading, right? There's a lot of twos in this. The two energy is really strong. So there's a bit of duality and a bit of paradox playing out, right? Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Priestess is number 2. In the previous reading, we had, again, Priestess, Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and Two of Cups, right? So balancing out your light and dark, your sense of, as I said, like what you think is right, what should be happening now versus what's actually playing out. Like there is what I'm feeling with all these twos here in that kind of polarity and dynamism of like oppositions is here the need for you to accept exactly what is happening right now, because it's in that space of acceptance of how things are is the way that you will overcome any suffering, because it's only through your lack of acceptance of what's actually happening that you're suffering. It's not the circumstances themselves, it's your lack of ability to accept what's going on. So that's what I'm feeling with all the 2 energy in this reading. And the rest of what's here is more or less, as I said, like reiterations of what was in the previous reading. Some immature people that you have to deal with, some less than ideal communications going on, some your here we have this 4 of Worlds up in reverse. This is commencement in this deck, saying that you're ready to go, but there are delays, or there is other things, other people that are you may be witnessing or viewing or perceiving people in your environment that, as I've said, maybe, you know, dragging their feet or communicating poorly or behaving immaturely, or in some way from your perception being a factor or a cause of some kind of restriction or limitation or delay from the perspective that you see it. But what I'm seeing here in this reading is that these people are just characters that are playing out a role in a larger story, where there are other people that you don't know yet, that are not in your awareness at this moment, that are part of the story that's playing out and unfolding, that are not on the same timeline yet. There's some delays happening on their end. So this is just, again, another reminder from your higher self and guides to be patient and to trust everything's happening in exactly the right moment. You need to just maintain your space of openness, of knowing, of awareness, of availability, and strive to address the places where you may feel resistance, where you may feel lack of trust, where you may feel anxiety or stress or tension, and go to those places and work with compassion and unconditional love and emotional maturity and emotional, you know, fitness and awareness to kind of deal with your own whatever energy you're pushing out through your, you know, frustrations and irritability and anxiety, and go to those places and deal with that by invoking that inner dialogue that brings that sense of trust and awareness to the situation. Sage of Cups reverse, Judgment reverse, 3 of Cups reverse, Woman of Cups reverse. More of the same, more of the sense of delay and a little bit of frustration that comes with that. There's a lot of there's sages in this reading. Sage of Crystals, Sage of Cups, Woman of Cups, Man of Cups, both in reversed. So for some of you, there could be, like, again, this sense of counterpart energy. Either some of you are waiting on a partner, a compatible partner that you've been invoking and manifesting, and you might be feeling frustrated because they haven't shown up yet. And there is, for some of you with that energy, this feeling of just more of the same advice, like deal with your own frustration and confusion and irritability and anxiety and doubt. Bring your awareness to that. Bring your willfulness to that. Bring your determination and enthusiasm and trust to that, and overcome and quell, you know, like have that your inner dialogue is really important. It's really important. It's about bringing that sensation of trust and awareness and alignment and compassion and understanding in every moment to overcome those sensations of all the things we've already been talking about this whole reading. And know that timing is at play here, and this is simply a bigger story going on than just you. And there's other characters that are in your energetic field but that haven't manifested physically yet, that are going through their own stuff, and they are just like getting in synchronicity with you. So just stay patient and calm. I feel like that's it for your reading, Virgo. I wish I could offer more, but I feel like I'm just repeating myself at this point. You know what to do. Watch this reading again if you need to hear that one more time, and come back to it later at the month. In the later part of the month, it might make more sense and be more relevant as some events have unfolded. So thank you so much for watching. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I hope you found some things in there you can work with. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in next month's reading.